Hi, I'm Evan,
I'm Madison.
and we're going to show you what a backpacking trip on the Lost Coast is like. What is the Lost Coast? The Lost Coast is the last truly wild expanse of California coastline, a magical stretch of pristine nature, yet to be touched by the cement, steel, and pavement of humanity. On the Lost Coast, wildlife thrives in its natural habitat. The coastal mountains tumble from their soaring peaks abruptly down into the Pacific Ocean, and impenetrable forests guard the secrets that lie within their boundaries. The Lost Coast is the closest thing you'll get to the genuine experience of an untouched piece of California coast, a bit of a glimpse into the land and wildlife that once roamed the state before the arrival of humans. So, to experience the Lost Coast, Madison and I laced up our boots and filled up our backpacks, exploring the area the only way that you can. 4 days of hiking under the power of our own 2 feet. And oh, did we discover the magic hidden in this remote corner of California. Our trip commenced at the northern reaches of the Lost Coast at Mattole Beach, where our shuttle dropped us off.
We are here in the Lost Coast for 4 days, 3 nights. It's my first time hiking, backpacking around the ocean, so I'm really excited.
Shortly after, we arrived at Punta Gorda Lighthouse, one of the few human creations that can be found on this coast. In response to numerous shipwrecks that the rocky coast had claimed over the years, the lighthouse was built in 1910 and in operation until 1951. In front of the lighthouse lay the custodians of this section of the Lost Coast, a group of rowdy elephant seals. We continued down the coast to our resting point at Sea Lion Gulch, but our day of hiking still wasn't done yet. The Lost Coast has tide-sensitive sections that can only be passed with low to medium tides. Given that our only low enough tide was during the middle of the night, we hit the trail again at 10 p.m., meandering nearly 4 miles under the moonlight until arriving at Randall Creek, where we would get our first night's sleep. We started our second day on the trail slow, catching up on rest that was missed the night before. Our task for day 2 was rather simple, just an 8-mile hike down the coast to Big Flat. If the Lost Coast doesn't already have an official plant, I'd like to formally put forward poison oak, which grows thick and abundant from the coast all the way up to the peaks. Pants are a must on this hike. Upon arriving at Big Flat Creek, we saw a few surfers in the water. This is a known surf spot, but few go through the hassle to hike in with their boards. The waves look pretty fun, enough to give me a healthy dose of FOMO. We found a great camp spot on the embankment above the creek while getting some rest ahead of a daunting day of hiking. On day 3, we turned our trip away from the coast and set our sights on the monstrous peaks looming overhead, particularly King Peak, the highest mountain of the King Range. At over 4,000 feet high, King Peak sits only 3 miles from the ocean, providing dramatic views of the Pacific and surrounding mountainous terrain. With another early start, we ascended up Big Flat Creek and then turned our heading towards the muscle-burning switchbacks of Rattlesnake Ridge. The sun relentlessly beat down on the mountain slopes, making for sweaty and dusty hiking conditions. We received constant reminders of who this land truly belongs to along the way, the black bears. The trail was ripe with dozens of fresh bear scat, and Madison even had a quick encounter with one of the large yet timid animals.
4,070 feet, King Peak, fog to the west, and ocean and smoke to the north.
After a grueling 16 miles and 4,000 feet plus of elevation gain, we found ourselves a beautiful, secluded pool in the Big Flat Creek, a great chance to relax and freshen up. After summiting King Peak, we had our second night hike on our hands. This time, we started at 2 a.m. with no help from the moon, working our way down the pitch black of the narrow stretches of beach. Despite one little encounter with a bear, we made it to our camp safe at Gitchell Creek, 4 miles south, and got a few more hours of sleep before the final stretch. Day 4 was our last on the Lost Coast. We took our time, taking in the scenery, exploring the creek canyons, and cooking a warm breakfast. The final 4 miles to Black Sands Beach, where our car awaited us, were a breeze. Four days on the Lost Coast had flown by, and it truly was special to have experienced this outpost of pristine coastline, an anomaly in a world today where it is increasingly harder to come by such untouched beauty in California, or on the planet for that matter. Seeing the natural beauty of the coast, unmolested by breakwaters, dams, and human intervention, makes one think about what could have been with the majority of the coast that we've already permanently altered to be fit for humans. We recommend you get out to the Lost Coast yourself to bask in the what could have been state of our coasts. Think about what you can do to mitigate further damage in the future.
Hey folks, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed our trip and hope you learned something new about the Lost Coast.
See you next time.